Welcome back to this sixth and final part of the first session with Corbin and yourselves. We've been using the Socratic Dialog teaching method to raise Corbin's awareness of the importance of his word choice and how vital it is to have some kind of purpose if you want to learn anything. As Corbin has increased awareness of things like how his mind works, his reticular activating system, and concepts like Gestalt and personal power, and all sorts of other things that we've just been touching on in the last hour, I think at this stage it would be good to set some assignments so that he can do background reading, watching, and exercises he can undertake. And of course, it's important for you to do the same thing in parallel, although your needs and wants are going to be different to Corbin's. We want to help you become aware and then take the next steps of developing your knowledge and the four intelligences that lie within you: your emotional, your social, your practical, and what we call your applied functional intelligence, AFI, or simplified, you can just think of it as PI, practical intelligence, and finally your academic intelligence. But the point is, with soft skills, it's like learning tennis. You won't become a good tennis player or any other sporting player, football, whatever, by reading a book on it. You have to practice. And you have to practice particular skills, whether it's serving or returning or volleying or whatever. And in football, I'm sure there's equivalent skills that you can develop. You become aware, you develop the skills, and then you use those skills in an appropriate environment or situation. So depending on what kind of job you're interested in, you will have the awareness, you will have developed the skills, and then you will apply the skills. For example, getting ready for an interview. You'll be aware of what kind of questions people are likely to ask you. You will have developed fluency to respond to appropriate questions in an authentic way, and then you will be able to adapt quickly to the situation as the interview progresses. And that's the skill set that we're trying to equip you with. This first session is just a beginning. There are a lot of other sessions, and you will be able to watch Corbin as he goes through his own journey of awareness, development, and then utilizing. If you've made it this far, up to part 6 of the first session, then you are already in the top 1% of the people who started with this process. And that's fantastic for you, because you will have a huge advantage of the other 99 people who perhaps make the same application and go for the same interview. You will be in control, you will know what's going on, and we welcome you to the wonderful world of practical work, which is where you can fulfill yourself as an adult. Or, if you're one of those 99% who've already dropped away, they will be victims of the way the system works. And it's only people like yourself who've hung on in there that will be the champions and the leaders and the people who can have a fulfilled work-life balance. And that's what we are so committed to help you with.
The way they're saying it, that's the meta-language. And neuro-linguistic programming kicks into that and is part of it. So I'm going to give you a few things to do, because if this is like a university course thing, as well as these lectures or conversations, there's also stuff you can do in between to learn so that we can go forward.
Yes, okay. Can I write them down with your pencil?
Well, I'd certainly like you to, yes. That one, NLP.
Yeah.
Gestalt, or what's called Gestalt theory, Gestalt.
Yeah. Theory.
Yeah. See if you can find anything about conversational power. I haven't researched that myself. Okay. See what you can find on YouTube to do with personal confidence. And the last one I suggest to you is see what you can find on YouTube to do with status. Status and leadership. With leadership, add leadership, as well as in leadership, part of it is leadership styles. And then when we talk again, I think that's probably one of the areas we'll pick up on. We'll pick up on whatever your next list of wants is.
Yes.
Because I'd like every conversation to be driven by your wants.
Okay.
Okay. But again, do you remember I talked about spin and so on? So this isn't a question, it's a suggestion or a recommendation. Yeah. So a suggestion is one thing. A recommendation is a suggestion with a bit of a sort of, and I really think it's got a bit of a push. I like that. You're using words now properly. Good. So to wind up, what I suggest is, I think it's fabulous that we've managed to capture this session. I thought it was going to be much more difficult. And I'd like a copy so that I can analyse it.
We'll go straight upstairs and put it on your computer.
That'd be brilliant. You've got these fabulous skills which I lack, and which is why I'm going to get so much out of these conversations. And I'd like you to go through it and pick up on the way I asked questions, the way you responded, and the body language. But I know what I'm doing, and I am looking for a very particular thing here. Oh, and also, just so you know, like, what does that say?
The perception of self.
Yeah, power perceptions, okay? So this is some information that's significant, that shape of that curve there. What I want to take you into is an area of power and personal power and authority and leadership and influencing and stuff like that. So I'm only showing you this piece of paper to show you that it's not just me and my random thoughts. There's
a whole study area on this.
Yes. Yeah. And what you could do is look up, here's another thing to look up, Stanford Business School. And they have an MBA, which is what's an MBA?
Well, when you say MBA to me, I think of National Basketball Association.
No, M.
Okay.
It's a qualification called MBA. If you do a degree, the normal one is a BA. What's that stand for?
A bachelor's something, I don't know.
Yes, BA in the old days, a Bachelor of Arts.
That's the one.
Yeah. I did a BSc, so what's that?
A Bachelor of Social something, I don't know.
No, it's Bachelor of Science.
Science, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And but by the way, this is kind of absolutely basic 101 what are degrees. You see all these books around here about graduate employment and top employers and everything like that. They're all about people going and spending 3 or 4 years of their lives getting this piece of paper and learning stuff, which is called a BA or a BSc.
Yes.
Right? So after you've done your 3 or your 4 years, you can then do what's called an MA, which is a master's, as opposed to a bachelor's. Okay, and a lot of these business schools in America and in this country now, we live in Bath, so you can do an MBA or an MB whatever, Masters of Business Studies. Yeah. And typically you will pay a lot, £10,000, which is like $15,000. Yeah. So Stanford Business School, they run an MBA or a Masters of Business Studies, whatever they call it. Yeah. So I'd like you to see what you can find out about that
course.
Yes. Yeah. How long it is. So
if you're laughing at this stage, it's because you already know how much an MBA really costs, particularly at Stanford or Harvard or somewhere like that. But I want Corbin to look up the figures, and then together we will analyse what you get for your money and try to understand the payoff from some higher education.
I'm asking you some very specific questions. Yes. How long is it? And I don't want the answer to be it's absolutely ages or it's a long time. What type of question is that? How long?
You're asking for a quantity. It's a quantitative question.
Exactly. It's a time question, and I'm asking for a quantity. Okay. How much?
Again.
Yeah.
Not a lot of money.
Yeah, but so that's a question about two things. How much is about, it's a quantitative question, but what's it about? Is it about time?
It's about currency.
It's about money.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So time and money are important things.
Yes.
In most things, okay? And what does it cover?
Cool.
So when I'm nearly finished. When I'm structuring a question, I go through the possible 7 types of question. It's who, what, why, when, where, how, and how much. So whenever I'm doing any question, I choose which of those 7 it is.
Yeah.
Minus 20 seconds. Minus 16.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 10, 9,
minus
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Atlas engine
1.
Ignition,
T0.
0, and liftoff of the Atlas V rocket carrying the Inmarsat 4F1 satellite for Inmarsat Limited of London, which will bring a new era of high-speed digital satellite communication services to customers throughout Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. Let's listen to Marty Malinowski as he provides launch vehicle ascent data from the ASOC Engineering Operations Center here at Cape Canaveral.
Throttle back to 61% thrust. The vehicle is continuing its 110-degree roll to bring the solids to pitch plane.
Plus 35 seconds.
Roll program is complete. Vehicle is accelerating smoothly at 1.2 Gs. It is burning well. We're approaching a period of maximum dynamic pressure.
Period of maximum pressure is session 2. We're on our way. I hope you're enjoying the ride. Entirely up to you. You need to think of things you can watch, you can read, and you can do. Or you can just look good and the world will bounce in your face, quite probably. The choice is yours. Everything you need is in this course and the sessions that are coming on up. So we hope that you are going to get out there and grab everything you need so that you can build a better life for yourself. And we are here to help you. Good luck.